Hello, everybody. This is Morten from INKISH. I have the freaking, you cannot say that on TV, pleasure of having Nayelli here on INKISH this time. Or Nayelli, should I say INKISH and Revista El Impresor, or what should I say?
Correctly, Revista El Impresor.
Precisely. So you are, you are one of the family owners of Revista El Impresor. And before we're going to talk about Revista El Impresor, first of all, it's great to see you. It was great seeing you at Label Expo, even though it was a little shorter than anticipated. But here we are, and I think we have some really exciting announcements these days here. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the Mexican market. You have, not you personally, but your family have operated in the market for almost 50 years, right? So,
Correctly.
what is the print market? How is the print market in Mexico?
I believe it's beginning to grow again. I think there was a pause during the pandemic, like in a lot of industries, but I believe that now it's going up again, uh, thanks to packaging, thanks to advertise. I believe it's growing again.
Hmm. One of the things I actually read, because with all the things happening in the U.S., you can of course be afraid whether the U.S.-Mexican relationship would influence that growth you're talking about. But I can see, and when I read that, also the domestic growth is quite big in Mexico because more and more are moving from, let's say, the lower classes to the middle classes to the upper classes in society, and that creates a demand. Is that also something that you as a Mexican see when you shop and when you go in the streets and when you talk to your friends, or how is that?
No, yeah, I can see the growth. I believe there are more people on the streets shopping.
Hmm.
And also, I believe that the here in Mexico, the graphic industry is mostly of very small companies, and are family companies. So I believe it's a very noble industry.
Mm. And I also read that 19,000 printing companies and I think it was 2,400 converters, packaging converters, and label converters. That is quite some market, right?
Yes, exactly. But like I told you, most of them are very small businesses,
Mhm.
and they are all concentrated like in one area here in Mexico City. So you
Mhm.
can walk those streets, you can walk there, and you can see there's always a lot of people there.
Mm.
Mostly it's the demand of promotional things. That's what I can see in those streets, that they are printing the most.
You have to take me there next time I come to Mexico, right?
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
take you there.
yeah.
You can see, it's
Uh,
very exciting to see all the people there.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Nayeli, you and your two sisters, you have been working also. I mean, you have got Revista El Impresor in your blood from you were very young, because it was your grandfather that started it almost 50 years ago, right?
Yes, almost 50 years ago. This year, the magazine turns 48 years old, so
Amazing,
almost
right?
50.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I've been going to exhibits like since I've been a little girl.
And what type of media are you? I mean, are you? How would you see yourself? Because when I spoke to some of the people when we were together at in Guadalajara at the Label Expo, you have a very high and good reputation in Mexico, right?
Yes, exactly.
Mhm. Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about the magazine and what you do.
Well, right now I am managing the magazine. What I like the most is to write, of
Hmm.
course.
Hmm.
That I've been doing, like, well, since I graduated. I've been doing a lot of other things, but I have always remained like close to the magazine, trying to do things for them. So I've seen the ups and downs of the industry along all these years. I mean, my
Mm.
whole family has been there. So
Mm. It's difficult. It's difficult not to get involved with an industry, especially when all your family have been involved, right?
exactly, yes, the company started with my grandparents. They both started the company, just the two of them. And then, like, the magazine began to grow, so my mother got involved, and my father got involved, and I got involved, so we're all there.
Fantastic. The first time I heard about Revista El Impreso was with your sister Carla, and that was like just before the COVID. We started. I mean, I think it was. I think it stopped because the COVID destroyed so many things for so many people. But at the time, the idea was to have a franchise of INKISH together with you guys in Mexico. And I think that your colleague Claudia and also Carla was on camera and did some really great interviews. And that for me was like, whoa, these ladies, they know their shit, right? And then we didn't talk so much for some period of time. And then when we announced that we were interested in expanding our business with collaborating and taking part ownership of companies, um, uh, I think I forgot to say that you were with us in Madrid for the Seaprit show, of course, right? But I mean, we have got to know each other, over the years, and when we started talking about doing something together, for me, it was like a fantastic opportunity because I think that if we can find the best people in industry working together, will make our stronger in a market that is, first of all, very competitive, but also a very changing market. Is that also how you see it, or what was the reason why you decided to join with us?
Yeah, I believe what we want to do is to grow, right? So I believe that, I mean, together we can do a lot of good things. I mean, we were very focused for a very long time just in the magazine, just in the printed magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're joining you, we can expand our market and with the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that more people are in the videos.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to stop printing because
Of
I
course
mean we're
not.
talking
Of course
about
not. We are
printing,
we
of
are in the
course.
printing industry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We're in the
yeah,
printing industry.
yeah.
Why would we stop printing the magazine, right?
Precisely. Yeah, yeah.
But now we can expand everything with the videos, and you have a great way to do them.
Mm.
So I think it's a
And
very good opportunity.
when it comes from you, I'm even more grateful because you also have a side career as a TV producer on a big TV station, so you know a little bit about what you're talking about here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Nayeli, I was just thinking because when I spoke to one of your colleagues when we were in Mexico, she was a little bit afraid when I said we work together. She was a little bit afraid that we come with, let's say, she said kind of like a gringo mentality to Mexico, which I really try not to have, and I really try to be, and I think we are equal partners, of course, right? But I was just thinking, is that something that we have to be very cautious about when a company from Europe is combining the work with you guys, or is it more about attitude?
No, I don't think I'm not afraid of that.
Mm,
On the contrary, I
mm,
mean, I think that we can be more creative.
mm,
I think it's a great opportunity to be more creative, to do a lot of things that
mm,
maybe are not done in the industry, at least
mm.
here in Mexico.
I think so too, and that is also why we have exchanged a lot of emails and WhatsApps over the past weeks, right? And I think that it would be a fantastic opportunity. Let me just ask you one more question, a little bit of curiosity about, actually a little bit of not a big surprise, but a little bit of surprise. I mean, though Mexico is so close to the US, it is not so common that too many people speak English in Mexico, right? So it is a really like a Spanish speaking market for the majority, right?
Yes, yes, it
Mm.
is. Yes, it is. Even though we're very close, yes, it's a totally different market.
Yeah, and this is also why I think it's great, because when we started looking at one thing, we can bring videos into the market. That is, of course, how the market react to that. And I have another question in that perspective in a second, but it's also Mexico as one of the richest Latin American countries. We think that we can maybe use this as a starting point for moving Revista El Impresor even more into both Central America and to Latam in general, right? Do you think there is the cultures are so close that we can take advantage of this, or do we have to learn that there's a big difference from country to country?
I believe there's a big difference between country to country, but I
Mm,
believe that if we go down to Central and South America, I believe we can find a lot of good things. I mean, I've been to shows over there, so and I can see that the industry is different, but I think it's growing too.
Hmm. Fantastic. Nayeli, again, maybe a stupid question, but if you don't ask, you never know or get wiser, right? If you look at, we spoke about the printed magazine, and 8,000 copies every month is, of course, a quite good number. I was just wondering, is the internet population as developed and growing as fast as we see from the first world countries, in the sense of, do you think there will be a pressure on more electronic communication in the future, also from the printing companies and converters? Or how do you think? I mean, I'm asking because I think we should always do print and a printed magazine, but I'm just wondering if right now it's very, very good because maybe internet is not as developed in the, let's say, in the countrysides or in some parts of Mexico as in Europe, for example. Is that something know anything about?
No, I believe that this debate has been going on like for 10 years. I've been
Okay.
listening to this,
Mm,
like the printing is going to stop, we're going to
mm,
go, everybody's going to go only on online things. And I don't think so. I mean, I believe that people like to see, like to, I don't know, read the newspaper. I
mm,
believe they like to open a magazine and go through the pages, and also
mm,
with the books. I
mm,
mean, yes, ebooks have been growing a lot, but I believe that there's nothing compared to opening a book, smell the
mm,
paper, and
mm.
I think there's a very romantic thing there that people don't want to lose.
Mm. I I agree with you, but still we see in my part of the world, you see a decline in magazines and newspapers, and maybe it's because the pricing is so high compared to for example, in Mexico. Because I was surprised a little bit about that the cost of living and the cost of producing in Mexico is so much cheaper than in Europe. But then, of course, comes the relatively buying power. Do people still have the money to buy newspapers and books and the magazines?
Exactly.
Mm,
Yeah, because I think people like them. That's why
mm,
they do it.
mm,
I mean, here, what I see is that, for example, in the industry, I believe the demand for promotional materials is very high.
mm,
Uh, I believe the personalized printing,
mm,
it's also growing.
mm,
I mean, I don't think it's going to stop. I don't think it's never going to stop.
Fantastic. Nayeli, I have big expectations for the collaboration, and the people I have met from both your sisters and also Claudia. I think it's fantastic. I was actually asking ChatGPT yesterday if it could develop a Spanish class for me, and it was actually able to give me 12 lessons of simple Spanish. So maybe I can say more than hola when I get to, to Mexico the next time. But these cultural things are, in my opinion, one of the really big strengths working together, because I think that, as you know, we are not trying to change your legacy and your history. We're trying to develop in the pace and the time together. Um, I mean, one of the things is that the wishes of the videos, but when we talk about these expanding into to rest of Latin America, I mean, it's a big plan, right? But do you think it's possible? Because I actually had a little difficulties finding trade medias in Belize and Nicaragua and Panama and things like that. And I was just wondering if the markets are so different from Mexico that they don't have trade media, or what do you know anything about that?
I believe I haven't searched for them, but I believe that there. I mean, I've met some people from other magazines in
Mm-hmm.
Latin America,
Mm-hmm.
so I believe they are there. But I think they're small. I believe
Mm.
they also need like a push,
Yeah,
so we can get to know them, and
yeah.
then we can maybe even do
Maybe
things
work
together.
together. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Fantastic. Um, I just want to say thank you again for the professionalism in how we have been talking together, and Henrik and I will very soon come to Mexico to talk about the plans and learn about our new colleagues, and I think it would be fantastic. When you told them the other day that about this, what was the initial reactions from them?
Oh, they were very excited.
Hmm.
They were very excited about it. I believe we've been doing this for such a long time, so changes are always good. So they were very, very comfortable with everything.
And right now, the only visual change is that we have added English news in Spanish a landing page on your revistaelimpresor.com. But I think we have also plans for how to make the website even more fantastic in the future. I have not spoken so much to you about that, but I will with some ideas, and some of them are really simple to do. And if you like them, we do them. If you don't like them, then we don't, because you are the boss, right? So the rest of us are just birth helper. So that is how we're doing it, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Nayelli, again, welcome to the family, and I feel very welcome in your family as well. And I'm sure that we together can make something great. And I think that this is just fantastic. So thank you again.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I am very excited to join the INKISH family as well. So welcome to Revista El Impresor.
Muchas gracias.